Hola, buenas y bienvenidos todos a este nuevo stream. De el Summer Game Fest, este primer stream que haremos de LiveCasting. Y como bien sabéis, soy Josep Muñoz89, Josep Muñoz de la vida real. Estamos esperando a que la gente de The Game Awards se conecte en directo. De hecho, el evento tendría que haber empezado hace escasamente un par de minutillos, pero parece que hay un micro delay. Estamos aquí esperando a que nos den la señal y podamos pasarla con todos vosotros. De hecho, ya acaba de pasar el momento en el que tenemos el countdown ya en marcha. Es el momento en el que podéis ver que todavía estamos aquí acabando de prepararlo. Esto está empezando media horita arranca esto. He quitado el audio del evento para evitar los copyright tags, como bien sabemos. Y nada, hoy estamos aquí esperando los grandes acontecimientos del mundo del videojuego, como bien sabéis. Para aquellos que no sepan esto, vamos a empezar por el principio. Soy Josep Muñoz de la vida real, y esto es LiveCAST, como ya he comentado anteriormente. De hecho, sí, todavía estamos acabando de hacer layouts y la configuración está acabando de prepararse, pero bueno, lo que iba diciendo, estamos aquí esperando. En 28 minutos arranca el Summer Game Fest, el evento de hoy, que nos hablará de las novedades relativas a lo que va siendo bueno, la calidad. Lo que podemos ver es esto poco a poco vamos a ir mejorándolo para que tengáis una mejor calidad. De hecho, ahora no podemos mezclar el audio porque es en directo. Ellos también están haciendo pruebas de sonido, escuchando. Espero que la calidad mejore para las redes sociales. Yo ahora me estoy publicando en la para evitar copyright content. En cuanto empiece el evento, obviamente abriré el canal de audio de ellos y intentaré hablar por encima de ello todo el rato. pensaba de que iba a arrancar un poco más tarde, hay un poco antes, eso, pequeños nerviosismos al principio. Cosas del directo, chavales, cosas del directo. Como bien sabéis, estamos en la pequeña oficina que tengo desde Barcelona, ofreciendo todas las novedades a medida que van pasando. Los días en directo de Xbox, Inside Xbox, también tenemos el evento del maravilloso evento también del resto de eventos, así que vale, parece que la conexión se ha estabilizado ahora después de haber hecho un cambio de configuración. Espero que se mantenga si no tendría que haber probado otra configuración de Lo que sí que voy a hacer de momento es dejaros con el timelapse, con la cuenta atrás, música libre de derechos de Kevin MacLeod en mi caso. Y ahora cuando empiece vamos a darle caña al evento. Hola, buenas y todos, bienvenidos a este stream de Project Sandbox LiveCAST, este LiveCAST de Project Sandbox. Hola, buenas, aquí estoy. Sí, soy Josep Muñoz89, Josep Muñoz en la vida real, y estamos aquí siguiendo los eventos del Summer Games Fest. Este evento que se ha sacado de la manga al creador del The Game Fest, The Game Awards, perdón, y que pretende ser el E3 digital, el E3 versión Corona, digámoslo así. Un evento que englobará fabricantes, developers y las grandes marcas, principalmente para el tema del mundo de los videojuegos, y darnos todas las novedades. Como podéis escuchar de fondo, tenemos la música de Kevin MacLeod y yo poniendo la voz encima, que tenemos 89, como podéis ver en algún sitio por aquí, ahí abajo, sí. O también la cuenta de PSBX Media, que también podéis participar a través de ello en las redes sociales, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, y aquellos que participéis, por ejemplo, los que le deis al me gusta también, tenéis la oportunidad de llevaros también hoy un detallito de parte de Project Sandbox. Se hará el pequeño sorteo de Project Sandbox, de alguna cosa de goodies, algún pequeño detallito para vosotros. Así que nada, chicos, sin más dilación, estamos aquí en la recta final. En mi pantalla figuran ya los 15 minutos y 26 segundos, 24 cuando ya estoy hablando ahora, en los que el evento pues está aquí a punto de empezar. Ganas hay ya de poder daros a todos vosotros las últimas novedades del mundo del videojuego aquí en este Project Sandbox LiveCAST del Games Award. Y estamos en directo desde Barcelona. Aquí Josep Muñoz 89. En las redes sociales Josep Muñoz 89, Josep Muñoz en la vida real. Cuando quedan 9 minutos para el gran evento. Ganas hay de que empiece ya este gran evento que es el Summer Games Fest. Hoy tenemos pues announcements listos para todos. Ganas hay de que se nos dé información al respecto a ello. Sí, ahora se me ve la cara. Hola, buenas a todos. Soy Josep Muñoz 89, Josep Muñoz en la vida real. Esto, como he dicho, es Project Sandbox LiveCAST del Games Fest, del Summer Games Fest, este E3 virtual, este nuevo evento que se ha creado para dar respuesta a la falta de eventos en la categoría de la desaparecida ya E3 de momento para este año, para 2020. Pero ya sabemos que el 2021 va a volver ese evento con ganas, con ilusión. Podéis seguirnos en las redes sociales @PSBX Media o @JosepMonoz89, ese soy yo. En las redes sociales me refiero a Facebook, Twitter e Instagram. Recordad, chicos, que si le dais al me gusta, participáis de este live stream, podéis también tener la oportunidad de llevaros algún detallito de parte de Project Sandbox. Así que nada, chicos, ahora en los 7 minutos y 25 segundos nos quedamos a la espera y os dejo con un poco de música de Kevin MacLeod. Bueno, que ya empieza a tirar esto. 3 minutos, últimos 3 minutos para el stream. Para mí ya último minuto y 55 segundos en pantalla. Ha habido un poco de latencia en el stream. Pero, chicos, esto ya está a punto de empezar. Así que, en cuanto arranque el evento, os voy a dar las últimas novedades en cuanto salgan. Así que, estar atentos. Último minuto. Vamos allá. Momento para cambiar a que se me vea la cara. 59 segundos. Y ahora, en cuanto arranque el evento, cortaré el audio de fondo mío, la música de fondo, cargaré el audio del stream y vamos a ello. Vamos a darlo todo. Project Sandbox, LiveCAST. ...30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20... Ya casi lo tenemos aquí todo. Siete, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1... Y arranca. Y empieza el evento con Epic Games. Directores de proyectos, gente de Epic. Vale. Básicamente están dando información respecto a las próximas franquicias, a los próximos proyectos, de la nueva tecnología que tienen. Han hablado de un nuevo motor. Vale. Y por eso no escuchabais lo que había del stream ahora. Perfecto. Están hablando de los nuevos elementos, de los key features de la demo. Utilizan la versión cinemática. La versión cinemática para las películas. Tienen, gracias al texturizado virtual, pueden utilizar esas texturas también y pueden renderizarlo como si fuera a tiempo real. O sea, utilizan el material de la cinemática, o eso es lo que están comentando cada frame. Y lo baja a 30. Estos son los triángulos que utiliza cada color. Y ellos utilizan eso para generar el ambiente, las partículas, para intentar llevarlo al máximo al píxel. Toda la luz es completamente dinámica y utilizan el multi-bounce global iluminación global. Básicamente pueden trabajar muchos aspectos de ello. Han hecho mejoras en el motor del audio. Intentan traer los ambientes de reverberación de los ambientes reales. Trabajan con el Sound Field Rendering. Todo para intentar conseguir una experiencia mucho más inmersiva en el juego. Y utilizan un sistema que se llama Niagara FX para los efectos visuales. Also added a ton of new functionality to run fluid simulations like you see in the water below. The demo runs on our chaos physics system. Here we are using it to accurately simulate the rigid bodies of the falling rocks and the cloth of her scarf. Básicamente están hablando de la complejidad de los eventos y tienen que también trabajar las animaciones. Y están hablando del realismo del movimiento y de la tecnología que utilizan ellos. Y utilizan contextualización para, por ejemplo, lo que hemos visto con la pantalla en la mano. También tiene efecto en el... Toda la luminosidad, como se puede ver, tiene efectos. Y también puedes ver todos el resto de los efectos de la luz con la reacción que tiene cuando iluminas. No solo reacciona con elementos, sino que también en el movimiento también de la luz. Esto, básicamente todas las estatuas que ves aquí, la grande, tiene todos los elementos de la cinemática y está procesada con el sistema que hemos visto anteriormente. No tiene ningún glitch y pues se puede hacer con cualquier... ¿Ves? Aquí hay 500 estatuas iguales y hay 6 billones de triángulos procesados al momento en este motor. Lo que no hablan es de si este motor se utilizará para Xbox directamente, para Play 5. No hablan de ninguno de estos efectos, pero bueno. por lo que podemos ver, geometría ilimitada, y trabajan mucho con la iluminación local. Y aquí tienes la frase. No solo se tiene que utilizar en habitaciones pequeñas, sino que también se puede utilizar en grandes ambientes. Y aquí tenemos el momento en el cual están enseñando un gran espacio. Y ahora tenemos esta caída brutal. Visualmente es espectacular. Sabemos que el hardware de la PlayStation 5 será trabajado para Ray Tracing, para iluminación de este tipo. De momento, por lo que podemos hablar, sabemos que muchos de los engines se hacen en PC y luego después se portan a la consola. Pero bueno, vamos a ver qué es lo que nos traen con ello. Bonita escena con el anillo. Y vamos a ver qué es lo que viene ahora. Es, obviamente, el nuevo Unreal Engine. El Unreal Engine 5 para 2021.
There you go, the Unreal Engine 5.
Y aquí tenemos al gran jefe, Geoff Knightley, el hombre que ha mandado un tweet hace pocos minutos de que iba a ir live. Madre mía. Y es la primera vez que vemos algo de PlayStation 5 a tiempo real. Así que vamos allá. Tenemos Tim Sweeney.
Nick and Warden. Guys, thanks for joining me here virtually. This is a really big and exciting day. I mean, I think I just was so blown away when I saw this footage about what UE5 can do. And Tim, this is, I know, a special moment for you to have, you know, put a 5 on this Unreal Engine. I remember the first time you showed me the original Unreal Engine. I think it was like 1996 at E3.
Están hablando de cosas del pasado también, del primer Unreal Engine y cuál es la nueva generación de eventos. Vaya evolución, vaya cambio. Este ha sido un gran momento para Epic, pero ¿qué significa para la compañía ahora mismo? Para enseñar el primer elemento de PlayStation 5, pero también es una nueva versión del motor y tiene las mejoras tecnológicas, capacidad.
A completely new storage architecture that blows past architectures out of the water, and it's far ahead of the.
Básicamente destruye las arquitecturas debajo y se compara a lo mejor que el ordenador puede ofrecer. Una nueva generación de tecnología permite crear escenas fotorrealistas muy cercanas a la realidad y con un gran grado de versatilidad.
Features needed to achieve complete realism.
Para conseguir el realismo, básicamente hablan del tiempo y de cómo intentar solucionar el problema de darle tiempo, añadiendo pues la geometría de los píxeles para poder generar los ambientes y que se puedan trabajar las imágenes. Y básicamente se utilizan los elementos del sistema, la iluminación iluminación, como han hablado también, y también ayuda a que los trabajadores puedan liberarse de las restricciones de la luz y puedan darle mucha calidad al tema de la luz. Y es una herramienta para darle el poder a los desarrolladores.
Unbelievably realistic, but also economical and practical for them to create without having to have a 1,000-person team.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at that footage, you know, in 4K, I mean, just the level of detail is absolutely stunning. Kim, maybe you could break down a little bit of this, you know, sort of visually what's happening that makes it look so incredible, because I know you've got a couple of new systems that you're really proud of. And maybe talk about Nanite and what that is and how it works and how it's going to kind of shape games moving forward.
Okay, so Nanite is a new geometry system for Unreal Engine.
Básicamente hablan de Nanite, de la nueva, hablan de los subpíxeles.
It's possible because we have a new generation of hardware that really allows us to put loads and loads of triangles at the screen. And we thought that we'd come up with a new technique that allowed us to be able to create content in a similar way to the way that they do on movies today.
De la misma manera que se hacen las películas.
Nanite is basically ingesting all the movie quality assets from Quixel to make that scene, and the artist doesn't even have to think about it. They can move rocks and mountains and statues wherever they want in the scene and not have to worry about triangle costs anymore. Lumen, the global illumination system that Tim mentioned, that just produces incredibly realistic and accurate bounce lighting. So wherever you place a light in the scene, its effect on the whole world is seen instantly by just moving things around. It's amazing.
Yeah, when I saw that demo, I was just so blown away by the visual fidelity, and also I think how much felt, at least to me as an end user, how much felt
Recordar,
so
chicos,
much of the
que estoy
environment
haciendo el
streaming in
live
real time
post
and so
también
much
en la
detail,
web de
especially
Project
that sequence where
Sandbox.
she's flying through the environment.
PSBX.io
PlayStation 5 and, you know, the incredible, you know, bandwidth it's going to have to, you know, move data from the SSD, you know, right onto screen. Nick, can you maybe talk a bit about how that's sort of manifesting itself in this demo? I assume some of, you know, those improvements in PS5 are enabling types of things that just weren't possible in previous generations.
Yeah, so Nanite enabled the artist to build a scene with geometric complexity that would have been impossible before. There are tens of billions of triangles in that scene, and we simply couldn't have them all in memory at once. And so what we end up needing to do is streaming in triangles as the camera is moving throughout the environment. And the I/O capabilities of PlayStation 5 are one of the key hardware features that enable us to achieve that level of realism.
Yeah, no, it's stunning to see that, and I think also, you know, the global illumination. I think people have, you know, heard that concept before, but now, you know, really manifesting sort of in real time in that environment with, you know, the flashlight or some of the other, you know, lighting scenes. Can you guys maybe break down sort of, you know, from the gamer perspective, like how games are going to change because of the full global illumination?
Well, you know, first of all, this enables a much wider variety of games to have very realistic responses to light. You know, everything from you know, from large-scale open-world types of games, you know, with day-night cycles, making seamless transitions from indoor to outdoor. It's it makes lighting one of the things that the developers don't have to worry about, and you know, it's a freeing technology. Not only does it mean more real-time lighting in games, but it also means there's a large set of problems that were very tricky in the previous generation that developers just don't need to worry about. And so I think you're going to see a much wider variety of types of games, taking advantage of Lumen and taking advantage of Nanite. And one of the core elements of every new generation transition is new hardware capabilities with an order of magnitude improvement over previous generations enable entirely new types of games to develop. The Battle Royale genre didn't
Básicamente hablan también de todo, de que este engine puede utilizarlo cualquiera, no solo los juegos más básicos, sino también los Battle Royales, entre otros.
This new generation of technology that we're building with Unreal Engine 5 and that Sony's empowering with PlayStation 5 will enable entirely new types of game
Básicamente puede generar nuevos juegos, experiencias de juego.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk over the, you know, past couple of weeks about, you know, the next generation and kind of, you know, will the leap be as great as previous generations? What are the types of things we're going to see? I think this demo, at least to me, is the first kind of real-time example of something that really grabs me. And I just want to confirm, like, what we're seeing there, that's all, like, you can actually play that with a controller? Like, that's not kind of frame dumped or anything? That's actually playable?
It's a fully playable demo.
Están hablando de que es un elemento completamente jugable. Y esta señal es la que se ha visto en alta definición. Así que será un poco diferente cada vez que juegues. O sea, en pocas palabras, el procesado que ellos comentan es sacado del HDMI de la consola. Y el jefazo pregunta cuál será uno de los mejores aventajes dentro de la nueva generación a la anterior. ¿Qué hay que no sabemos todavía? En términos de inversión, están hablando de la inversión a sitios.
Really get you to a point where you're feeling like you're inside a movie set. Things are so realistic, and it's gonna aid the storytelling. I think that the sense of immersion, the feeling a player gets from actually visiting a space will be much deeper than you've ever seen before.
And the ability of the hardware and the engine to stream in massive amounts of content as you're going through a huge environment, I think that's going to have a much bigger
También
impact
hablan
on
obviamente de la capacidad de la nueva consola, del hardware. Así que la próxima generación de hardware directamente. Estaban hablando también de la diferencia entre el disco.
Sony's storage system is absolutely world class. Not only the best in class in console, but also the best on any platform, better than high-end PC. I think this is going to enable the types of immersion that we only could have dreamed of in the past. The world of loading screens is over, and the days of pop-in and geometry popping up as you're going through these game environments are ended, and the resulting effect is the ability to build games that are
También hablan del fin de Epic anuncia el fin
hundreds of hours of gameplay if that's your game.
Yeah, no, incredible what I think this is going to enable.
De las
We've talked a lot about
pantallas.
PS5. We know obviously Unreal Engine runs kind of across all platforms, including mobile and PC and Xbox, of course. What's your take on like what you're showing here? How is that going to scale to to other systems? Like this demo we're seeing, is that will that run on the Xbox Series X? Will it run on PC? How will it be different? Can you guys give us some context on that?
Well, I mean, Unreal Engine 5 is going to run across all of our supported platforms, next generation console, current generation consoles, as well as mobile devices.
Con todas las generaciones pasadas y futuras.
One of the key features that we've been working on is being able to build content once and deploy it across devices. So on higher end hardware where we can support Nanite directly, we'll be able to render
pasadas y futuras
that you just saw, like on PlayStation 5. For, say, an Android or iOS mobile device, what we will be able to do is have tools that help to scale that content down.
Y básicamente cosas como Nanite irán a máquinas de gran potencial.
Tim, do you have a sense between like sort of all the like Xbox, PlayStation, all these other systems, like sort of they've made somewhat different choices, also some similar ones, obviously with SSDs in both. Do you have a sense of how they're going to sort of compare in terms of power, or how you look at sort of?
Y ahora ya sí que aquí Geoff está yendo al hueso a intentar decir que comparen las dos generaciones nuevas de consolas. Y obviamente aquí el jefe ha dicho que no va a comparar el tema. Una cosa es high-end PC, la otra es la consola. Lo que se podrá hacer con el mejor hardware en cada sistema. Cada experiencia será diferente y ellos quieren solo llevar la experiencia a todos los dispositivos que hay en el mundo. Así que los desarrolladores pueden hacer lo que quieran. Sin sacrificios. Básicamente buscan un
so that we can reach a much larger audience of gamers than just the hardcore some 200 million console players in the world.
So Kim, I know a lot of gamers around the world watched that footage and said, wow, I want to play that, but I'm sure they're also trying to kind of extrapolate out of that, since it's, this is not a game, it's a demo, how their games are going to feel different in the next generation. And one of the things that I really took away from it was that flight sequence at the end, which was just incredible, and with the sort of the rubble coming down and things moving. Could you maybe talk about sort of how the game experience might change with UE5? Sure, it's going to look visually more beautiful, but how is it going to play different?
¿Cómo trabajará el engine en cada generación? En la generación actual tenían que añadir la luz en el ambiente. En pocas palabras, el ambiente no era dinámico y no se podía generar. Pero con la nueva tecnología, con la Luma, los mundos pueden ser súper buenos y súper dinámicos. No solo los elementos destructibles, sino los componentes que sean en cada juego. Cada día el evento puede crecer y cambiar y solo puede calcular en directo.
And does that extend to I assume destructible environments and whatnot, and allowing people to sort of really that sequence in the flight where you sort of saw the sort of tower crash down or whatever, that felt to me, I just hadn't seen that level of detail in a game like that. And some games like Uncharted or whatever sometimes have big destruction moments, but it felt like that was so detailed and so realistic. Is that partially because you can now move the environment more in real time?
Yes, and even effects like when we open that big dome where all the statues are.
El ejemplo de la luz rebota en todas partes.
Really, the way you would have had to do that in the past is you would have to cheat. And now it can be fully dynamic. You can blow a hole in the sky and the light will come through, and even choose
en pocas palabras,
randomly
en el
lights,
juego pueden
put them into
reventar
the
un
scene as
agujero en
a
la pared
player,
y ese
then they're
agujero
going
va a
to have an
salir
effect on the whole
con la
world,
luz.
and it'll still
Y no se
look
tiene que
realistic.
crear un efecto
So in the
específico y
past,
quedará
you could get that
realista.
effect, but it would have to be sort of pre-calculated, I guess. Is that how it works?
En pocas palabras,
exactly. And even
el
if you want,
precalculado
if you're saying you're in a dungeon
ya no existe.
and you place a light, you see you've got a candle that you have to have in the
Igualmente,
game,
por
you place
ejemplo,
it.
lo que
That
está
will
diciendo,
bounce
en
around
una
corners.
cueva,
So you can explore with
en una
limited light
mazmorra,
sources. The old-fashioned
antes
gadget
se
of having
tenía
a
que crear la
flashlight
luz y
isn't what you
moverla,
need anymore. You can actually
y
use
ahora
light in
ya
really
puedes
interesting
utilizar
ways.
el punto de luz y marcarlo, y
Yeah,
allí
and
ya se genera
even
a tiempo
beyond
real.
games, Unreal Engine has been applied to so many amazing aspects of entertainment. Of course, I think everyone knows The Mandalorian, how that used Unreal Engine, and there's so
También,
the Weather
obviamente,
Channel, there's so many other uses of
Mandalorian,
UE. Can you guys talk about how sort of UE5
Weather
is going
Channel,
to,
varias empresas de la
tie
industria
into those
audiovisual.
experiences, and I think I assume you see this convergence of kind of everything coming together through an engine like Unreal in terms of just realizing entertainment. How will UE5 sort of be used in those fields, or how will that change the pipeline for non-game experiences too?
So one of the great things about
Básicamente,
Nanite is that it finally allows content creators of all kinds to be able to use movie quality assets. So there really won't be a difference. If you're building an environment for a film versus a video game, or you're making an IP that's transmedia, you can build things the same way now. And that was we had so much exposure to film customers over the last few years using our engine that we really wanted to remove the barrier for them and for all game makers. Right now, you just you pick a high resolution asset you want, you load it in, you don't have to think about making levels of detail or normal maps or any of the usual stuff that goes with making game content. It's a pretty freeing experience for
básicamente,
anybody trying
lo que
trying
están
to tell a
comentando
story
es
or
que
to
están
make an
eliminando
experience.
las barreras de creación para
That's
todos.
amazing.
Antes,
So, in the eyes
la
of the
manera como
consumer,
usabas el
you'll
engine
see
de una
an
manera a
asset
la
that's
otra
in,
era
a
diferente,
movie, and that they
y
literally can
ahora
drag that
pueden
over to the game
utilizar
now, whereas I guess in the
los
past they
assets
would
de
have
una
to
serie,
sort
de una
of,
peli
reduce down the
directamente
polygons
a
and kind of, kind of
el
scale it
mundo de
down
los
for a game
videojuegos,
engine.
Yeah, and in fact, actually,
sin tener que
that's
retocar
also
nada,
part of it.
sino que
There are
coges
assets,
el
they
engine
come when you take
de
an
un
asset
lado,
from
lo
the
llevas
Pixel
al otro
Store.
y lo
There is a
modificas.
movie quality version that would be used in movies.
Pueden utilizar
I guess they
el
were involved a lot
downscaling
in the
para,
Jungle Book movie
por
a few
ejemplo, la
years ago,
película, un
and many movies today
videojuego.
use Quixel assets. And they also have versions of them assets that are suitable for games. Now, you don't have to have that distinction.
Básicamente, con
Nanite
el
will just take the movie
UE5
asset and do
eliminan
the right
todas
things
las
with it.
barreras, todos los controles,
One of the
para
things
que
I know when
puedan
you guys moved to
trabajar
UE4, a lot of
siempre
people,
a la misma calidad
were
todo el
worried
rato.
about, it's breaking some of the pipeline of things that people had done previously. And it sounds like with this engine, you're saying it's going to be kind of a pretty seamless transition to UE5, right?
Básicamente
That's
hablan
important for
de
you
que
to have
la
the
transición va a ser
forwards compatibility.
integrada.
Yeah, absolutely.
Y la idea también
We
será
want to
hacer
support
añadir
developers bringing their games from
un-
UE4 to UE5, and in fact, we will be doing that
transiciones
ourselves with
de V4 a
Fortnite.
V5.
So
O sea,
we will be shipping Fortnite on next generation console on UE4, and then next year we will be bringing Fortnite to UE5 as well. So we'll be testing out that experience of bringing a game along from UE4 to UE5 and making sure the transition is manageable.
Wow. Yeah. Fortnite obviously is such a phenomenon, as you mentioned earlier, Tim, with battle royales. But also, I feel like Fortnite has turned into really kind of this.
Y ahora llegamos al momento Fortnite, al momento que están explicando del tema de las experiencias que se están llevando con Unreal. Y básicamente cómo ver los vídeos.
How do you see all the sort of worlds of entertainment
ese intento de mezclar las experiencias de un lugar al otro? Y quieren comentar cómo lo van a hacer para mezclar los juegos con el entretenimiento del nuevo engine. Y aquí comienzan a comentar que todos los eventos están mezclándose, como por ejemplo han hablado del Mandaloriano, otros proyectos de televisión. Y crear algo con Unreal y poderlo mover a otros sitios. Básicamente están haciendo crossovers ya de Star Wars dentro de Fortnite, están haciendo películas dentro. La idea es que dentro de poco todo lo que crees, lo crees una vez y lo muevas a todas partes. Hey Pepsi! Hello, my dear friend. Hello. I don't know if you are online already or not. I'm sorry that I have not seen you before, but I'm glad that you are there. Thanks for watching a bit. As you know, I'm doing it in Spanish, so sorry if you cannot understand me at all. But thanks for coming in.
But in the future, all these assets are going to come together, and Epic's not going to just play a role in supplying
no busca solo crear herramientas para diferentes industrias, ellos quieren para todos ya.
When General Motors released their Corvette car configurator for the 2020 Corvette, it was powered by Unreal. It was running in the cloud, and you could go there and you could configure your car right then. But that was disconnected from the rest of the gaming world. The next step with all of those types of experiences is to enable them to author that content for all their internal work, whether you're designing a home for a customer as an architect, or you're designing a car, or you're building a television series. We want the next generation of these experiences to be bringing all of those assets directly to gamers in a fun way, deploying them into Fortnite and every other Unreal Engine licensee's games, being able to reach a vast consumer audience that way, right? It's like the transition that the world went through in the early days of the internet, and then social media. For a while it was just companies talking to customers one-on-one, and now it's
básicamente ellos quieren eliminar todos los tipos de clientes, sino que del one-on-one, sino que quieren hacerlo todo.
Not just text and video. It's real-time 3D. It's a social experience where players are together with all of their friends and experiencing all of these companies' content together in real time.
Básicamente quieren buscar que todo ello, sea tanto advertisers como todo el mundo, trabaje con el engine, con el Unreal Engine, y como ya han explicado en el caso de General Motors, con el Corvette 2020 de 2020, entre otros eventos. Básicamente todo ello hecho con el Unreal Engine. Quieren todo el pastel, vamos.
I couldn't agree more. It's so exciting to feel that games are going to be at the center of this, but as you said, I think this, like those shared experiences that you're having in Fortnite, even a concert experience, there's no gunplay or combat involved. It's just a shared
Básicamente no están comentando ahora Geoff la experiencia hecha por los conciertos y cómo se hace con Unreal. Básicamente haciendo un pequeño sumario de todo lo que viene siendo. Y ahora
content
quiere
creation
soltar otra pregunta.
path, because we've seen a lot, especially in Fortnite, with creative mode and a lot of
Básicamente
fans of
quiere
Fortnite
hablar
starting
de
to build levels, and
creativo,
obviously
cómo
UE,
crear
you
niveles,
guys I think have
el estilo
really focused
visual.
on kind of making it accessible,
Están
lowering the
buscando
royalty rates for
hacer
kind of,
accesible el
upstart
Fortnite.
developers. Can you maybe talk a bit about sort of the your vision of kind of
Y
how
quieren
easy
la
it
visión
is
de
to
cómo fácil va a
build
ser
something in Unreal?
en
I mean, are we
construir
going to get to a
algo en
level where
Unreal.
it is sort of like
¿O qué nivel
a
se
Photoshop
lleva
where you
ahora?
can kind of just jump in
¿Qué
and build the game, or
quieren,
what is that barrier to entry going to go down in the next generation?
Quiere saber cómo
Epic
va a
is
ser más
working to
accesible
address the
el
whole
tema
range of content development
para
scenarios,
los que no
all
tienen
the
ni
way
idea
from
de desarrollo de
your
videojuegos.
AAA
Básicamente.
game developer or your feature film in Hollywood being produced using world-class photoreal assets, all the way down to indie game experiences and content creation for the 100 million people who want to build stuff but aren't professional modelers and haven't had training in that. And the continuum of experiences spans Fortnite Creative, which has been used by over 100 million people, all the way up to Unreal Engine 4 and the Unreal Editor, which is an insanely powerful piece of software that's actually pretty complicated to learn. But over time, these tools and technologies will be coming together in some exciting ways, and we're not ready to talk about all of it yet. But Epic is really thinking about putting a lot of effort into addressing the entire continuum of content development and content deployment scenarios. We feel that the state of the world is a little bit broken right now. If you look at the app stores on smartphones, you have
Básicamente está tirando la piedra.
250,000 games, each competing for the top 10 charts, where virtually all of the sales
Básicamente
occur.
está
And you have a
tirando
small
piedras
number
a
of
la
winners
industria del
and a whole
videojuego
lot
ahora
of
mismo
losers in that
aquí.
way, and it's not a fair situation for game developers, and you have a lot of amazing games that just get lost because they haven't been discovered. More and more we want to enable content creators to reach the audiences within existing games. And this has been part of the industry since the days of Quake and Unreal Tournament, when
Básicamente
user mods
están
became
tirando
possible
piedras
when
a la industria
when software released our first
de
tools,
la distribución
so the
actual.
community could start
Están
building their own stuff.
comentando
And now
básicamente de las
it's reached a scale
herramientas,
of
de
hundreds
todo
of
aquello
millions
que
of
está
users if you look at
creando
what Fortnite is
y
doing,
que están
and
buscando
Minecraft and Roblox
todo
enabling,
lo que están
user
haciendo,
content
que es
creation. But,
básicamente
I
herramientas
think,
de creación de
I
contenido.
think
No
right now
están
you have
dispuestos a
two
hablar a
separate
este
worlds,
momento.
right? You have the professional
Básicamente
tools,
quieren hablar de dos
Unreal Engine and
sitios,
Unity, and then you have
básicamente
the tools for the
Unreal
masses
y
in Fortnite,
las
Minecraft,
herramientas
Roblox,
para el
they're
resto.
really not connected
Así que
anymore.
no
They're
están
not
conectados
connected
ahora
at all.
mismo,
And the
pero
next step
quieren
is to cross
hablar
over, and to enable,
de la integración
all
de
the
los dos
content
mundos.
tools to
Básicamente ese
reach
choque de
all of the
titanes.
customers and all of the ways that they play games. And this is something we're thinking a lot about, and we'll be doing a lot of work on in the coming years.
It's awesome to hear. We've talked a lot, obviously, about like graphics and lighting and things that are very powerful and visual that grab you. But I want to talk about the underlying architecture a little bit, and things especially like online services. And I know that's something that Epic has focused on, about kind of connecting people, even cross-play, but also finding ways to kind of bring communities together. And I guess some of that's tied to UE5, but also it's just a general platform approach. But can you maybe share a bit on kind of your vision on the other aspects of Unreal and Epic, and how that's going to sort of evolve over the next few years too?
Oh, sure. Today we're showing Unreal Engine 5 for the first time, but we're launching the Epic Online services to all developers in the world across 5 platforms right now, and you can download the Epic Online Services SDK and use it right away. What this is the set of all of the online features that we built for Fortnite, including
todo aquello que
cross-platform friends,
incluyen para
that span 7
Fortnite,
platforms, enable
quieren
players to connect together with
dárselo
all of their
a
friends
todo el
everywhere.
mundo.
Despite the different account systems and friend systems that exist on each platform, on the console platforms and on Steam, and we're opening it up to all developers for free.
Quieren abrirlo a todo el mundo de
The goal here
gratis.
is to help all developers work together to accomplish what we accomplished with Fortnite.
Y quieren mirar hacer lo que ha pasado con Fortnite. Básicamente cross-platform para todos.
Right? Instead of players being siloed into the you know, into
En
the
vez
one platform they're
de
playing
estar
on.
forzados a una
You
plataforma,
want them
quieren
to be
que
able
vaya
to
para
reach all
todos.
of their friends everywhere, but also build up
En
friends
pocas
across
palabras,
multiple games.
quieren,
That's the really interesting thing
como
about
ya
the
llevan hablando,
Epic
hacer una
account services that we're
disruption de
launching.
las redes
If you choose
sociales
to use
del
Epic
mundo
accounts in your
digital
game,
para el mundo del
then you can
videojuego.
reach the entire Fortnite player base, which is over 350 million accounts worldwide, and more importantly, it's 2.2 billion social connections between
buscan,
players. You know, when two
pues
players
eso,
become
aprovechar
online
todo
friends and
aquello.
start playing together, those friend connections now persist across games. You know, from all of the different publishers that choose to use these services, and so you know, it's the most open set of services that have been launched to date, and it really helps to bridge the gap. You know, that's existed on all of the other platforms, and until recently, it was really only Epic, EA, Activision, the really big companies with a huge set of development resources that had the capability of building that sort of thing. But now this is open, and it's approved by all three of the console makers for use on their platforms, and it's ready for all game developers to adopt. And so we're really trying to help the industry get to a better place. And we think, you know, the core of the game industry are these, you know, 300 million hardcore gamers across high-end PC and, you know, and console. But there are billions of gamers worldwide, and I think the next stage of the industry's growth is going to come from connecting these audiences, you know, not with low-end casual games on one set of platforms and high-end games on another set of platforms, but getting all of the players to play together.
Básicamente buscan un mundo en el que todos los videojuegos se jueguen juntos, sea quien sea, como por ejemplo está pasando con Fortnite. Básicamente el statement que están teniendo ahora mismo.
Become, you know, it's another social network now, right? And I know you guys have House Party that's been very successful over the past few months especially, but it feels like now, you know, you talk those numbers with Epic Online Services, it starts to feel like this is, you know, a Twitter or a Snapchat or an
Básicamente están hablando
de
las diferentes plataformas, en este caso House Party, lo quieren utilizar como una red social, como conectar con la gente. Básicamente no sabía que House Party era de Epic, pero Geoff lo acaba de soltar.
Well, you know, what we're building here is the opposite of a walled garden, right? We're enabling all publishers to use all of their different account systems and connect using these services. And we're working with all of the different console makers and other platforms and services to help interconnect them. You know, the most interesting thing about this, and if you start playing Fortnite on PlayStation and then you want to play the game on the iOS device, on iOS you can log in with your PlayStation account, and then you get all of your PlayStation progress transferred over. If you start playing on PC, then you create an Epic account. Then if you go to Xbox, then you can log in with your Epic account on your Xbox. And so this isn't a walled garden. Rather, it's an attempt to connect all of the different services, you know, so which have different degrees of openness.
Básicamente Epic se está poniendo como el galán de la defensa del mundo de los videojuegos, en el cual Epic sea el elemento vertebrador de sus proyectos.
They can grow better and build better businesses if, instead of trying to lock players into their platforms, they enable their players to connect with all of their friends across all platforms. Because you know, we have a lot of devices in our lives, and everybody who has an Xbox or a PlayStation also has an iPhone or an Android device. And you know, to really enable the next generation of industry growth, we've got to be able to connect all of these users with all of these friends and set aside kind of the old feuds that defined previous generations of the console business.
So, with everything you're describing, I think of, you know, a show like
En pocas palabras,
which,
Epic,
you know,
resumiendo un poco,
está
buscando, primero de todo nos ha enseñado el Unreal Engine 5, el último Unreal, que pueden trabajar tanto las empresas a tiempo real, como por ejemplo las películas, convirtiendo en el mundo de los videojuegos, que sean experiencias, que sea juego, todo junto, y básicamente también creando todo lo que viene siendo buscando el tema y también el elemento vertebrador suyo. Y ahora aquí han comentado con el tema de cómo puede ser que el video estudio a lo que viene siendo el tema normal.
waves crashing on a beach.
básicamente
I
todo
think
aquello
we're still
que
a
se
little one
ve,
generation off before they're perfect, but we're getting closer and closer.
se ven
And
todos los
one of
efectos,
the
dice que
coolest
pueden ser
things that we've seen,
realistas, puede
with
ser
the
que
advent
quede alguna generación
of
más para que
shows
acabe
like
de
The
ser
Mandalorian
perfecto,
starting to use the engine, is
pero
they're
a
beginning
ver
to
si el
understand that a
Mandalorian lo
game
está
engine isn't
usando,
just a
puedes
wrap
ver
rendering
que
pretty real-time pixels.
un
They're
engine que era
understanding that game
de
engines,
videojuegos ahora
especially
utilizado
Unreal, is
para
built
la
for
industria
building these
audiovisual,
very immersive
para
simulated
crear
worlds.
escenas
So we're seeing
virtuales.
people say they've got a car
Ellos
chase in their
dicen
TV show
que
that they're
quieren
trying to
crear
make.
una escena
They're not actually
de
drive
persecución de
cars with
carreras.
steering
Ellos
wheels
ya no,
and
ya no
joypads
corren
to race against each
para
other
correr
and then film
por
that
las
after the
calles.
fact.
Ahora
So
lo
it's starting to
crean
become very
en
almost like
motor,
very
en
Matrix
su motor
way
propio.
in the way that they're using simulation
Básicamente están hablando de
for
forma
cinematic
muy
content creation.
pasional
And I think
de
that's just
los
going to get
sistemas
more and
que se
more
están
common.
creando.
And as they start to rock the potential of what real-time interactive
Y la
entertainment
la
is
visión
about,
de lo
I
que
think
viene
you're going to
siendo
see
entretenimiento en
traditional
tiempo
storytellers
real,
making the move
pueden
into
crear
video games.
diferentes
And I think-
historias,
and
como
backwards and forwards, I think you're going to see this
las
very,
consolas
very
pueden
fuzzy
irse
world
al resto
where,
de
where
las
it's just
cosas.
entertainment. You're building an IP,
Básicamente
it can
cómo
be a
se
game,
crea
TV show,
una
it can be
IP,
all
como
these things.
una entidad intelectual
it's gonna be a
puede
pretty exciting decade.
transfugarse, moverse,
I'm sure some people
transmodificarse
saw that
a los
you know,
diferentes
the
medios.
showcase that you guys just showed, the demo, and everyone's like, I want to play that game, but we should clarify that's not a game, I don't think, right?
Parece que hay
It's
mucha
a tech demo?
gente en el chat pensando de que
It's a tech
esta demo
Yes,
era,
yes.
era
We
un
feel-
juego
we feel it's
original,
the best way to
pero
present, especially
ahora
for
mismo la
the
gente
game
está
developer
flipada
conference,
diciendo,
is to show something
quiero
within
jugar
the
a esto,
context
quiero
of
jugar a esto.
gameplay.
No puede
So,
ser.
and it also means, we wanted to improve
Es
some
una demo,
animation
chicos.
systems
Es
in
como el
the engine.
Final
So
Fantasy,
it was
que nos
much
enseñaron
better
una
to
demo
actually
y
have
luego
a
esa
world
demo se ha convertido en el juego
walk
final.
through,
A lo mejor lo
play,
hacen,
jump,
pero
whatever.
yo creo que en este caso
Keeps
Epic
it
no
real.
está en la tarea de ello.
Unreal in this case.
I was gonna say it's real gameplay. That's what we like to see, is that people can actually play through that. And again, it just blows me away when you see that final sequence of the flight, and that's the kind of thing that I think we've all been waiting for, is to see that glimpse of where games are going next. So it's really exciting to see how you guys keep pushing the technology to the next level with UE5. And I know it's going to be next year, you say. So we'll see some next gen games this holiday shipping on brand UE 4.25, I think, right? And then next year is when we'll see UE5. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. We're planning on having a preview of UE5 available early next year, and then shipping.
La idea es
full
que
5.0,
esté
later in
disponible
the
de
year.
cara al año que viene.
And I imagine characters will
Y
also improve. I
evidentemente
think you guys have done
ya-
a lot of work there with sort of character technology. We already talked about with Nick the idea of streaming more into the environment. No load times, as Tim mentioned. I mean, these are other things that I guess are gonna sort of impact the game experience. But are there other dimensions that you think the next generation will sort of evolve to with UE5? I mean, I think the character stuff feels like, to me, another area where we're not quite the same as movies yet in terms of character technology, but I'm sure you guys are pushing on that too.
I'm very confident. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Tim.
This is just the tip of the iceberg here. We've
Ellos
shown
ven
visual
que
humans
es la punta
technology
del
in the
iceberg,
past,
que esto
but,
que
Epic and the three
que
lateral
Epic
team that recently
puede
joined us
creer,
are going to be pushing that to entirely new levels, not just in
crear
graphics fidelity, but
impulsar la
also in
tecnología a nuevos niveles.
productivity for content creators.
Quieren
So
ser
that
una herramienta de
a
productividad para creadores de
developer
contenido.
without a huge budget can build visual humans that are world class. We have a lot of
quieren crear
investments going
contenido
on
que
that
sea
you'll
world
hear
class.
about over the coming months and over the next year. Also, at the core of this, this isn't a big open world demo, but open world technology and enabling worlds without bounds is the key initiative that's uniting all of this. Virtualized geometry is one part of it. Global illumination with Lumen is another part of it. But ultimately, this comes together to empower huge streaming seamless environments, and that creates an entirely new direction for games to go. And remember, this is not just a graphics engine, right? It's a full simulation engine. It aims to power every aspect of simulating a realistic environment, including very detailed physics, vehicles, and collision and destruction, and everything else. I think you will see a qualitatively different set of games built for the new generation than what we have here. And it's going to be very exciting because we don't yet know exactly what they're going to be.
And how does you guys mentioned Fortnite moving to UE5 next year? Like, I mean, how is this going to impact Fortnite? Do you think, in terms of like the game with UE5? Sure, you don't want to spoil much, but it's like just technically, sort of like, is that going to enable the game to evolve too?
Well, it puts a vast amount of additional new power in the hands of all of the creators who build Fortnite, both within Epic and the 100 million or so outside of Epic.
Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting to see where this enables the game to go in the future. I think what we have now is a very, very small fraction of what the game will be in the future, and it's going to be very exciting to see the Fortnite team evolve it and have all of this new power in their hands.
When I see it as, it's a game, but it also feels like a platform in a way that it's enabling, these other, there's battle royale game, but there's creative, and obviously we've started to see, other experiences with music artists and whatnot around it. So it feels like it is this, this beachhead to sort of a bunch of other content. Is that how you view it? As sort of this, sort of this? I mean, people have used the term, sort of metaverse, but is that sort of the longer term vision? Is that Fortnite can sort of grow to wherever creators want to take it?
Está comentando aquí Geoff y preguntando que si quieren que Fortnite se convierta en un metaverso, en un universo propio en sí mismo, no solo para el concepto del Battle Royale.
I think if you look at Fortnite today, it's not that, but anything's possible in the future.
Todo puede ser posible en el futuro. Eso no es un no, sino que es una idea interesante para todo el mundo del videojuego. Cómo no limitar una experiencia. Cómo crear una nueva generación de experiencias.
Yeah, well, I think UE5 obviously shows the high end of the aspiration for everyone.
UE5 busca la máxima aspiración.
To maybe make, and yeah, that demo is absolutely stunning. Before we go, I wanted to ask you, like, that demo, how long did it take you guys to build? How many people worked on it? Can you give us a sense of, like, how that came to life?
Well, we started thinking about it straight after GDC was when we started thinking about it. We knew Brian's nanite technology was beginning to come online. And but the bulk of the work, I would say the bulk of the work started from sort of September through to March. And I think the team, it probably peaked over this, but I think it was
ha empezado en septiembre desde 2018.
And with a bit of help from our friends at Quixel. If it hadn't been for the Quixel Megascan library, we couldn't be able to populate that world.
Yeah, well, I'm sure everyone looks at that and says, I want to play that game, and I know we're not necessarily going to get it, but it hopefully will inspire a lot of creators around the world about what will be possible, with UE5 and also the next generation system. So,
están hablando de este gran evento, de todo lo que estamos contentos y qué es lo que puede haber en el futuro.
Thanks as always for joining me, guys. It's great to see the first look at UE5 and hear about
Geoff
where it's going.
Geoff se despide, atención.
The future looks quite bright. Thanks, guys.
Y dice que el futuro está muy brillante. Y básicamente este stream, por lo que parece, se está acabando. Así que, sin más dilación, chicos, chicas, muchas gracias por conectar a esta gran emisión del evento. Aquí Josep Muñoz 89, Josep Muñoz en la vida real, se despide de todos vosotros con muchas ganas de veros en el próximo evento, con muchas ganas de veros en el próximo evento de Games Fest aquí en directo. Básicamente estoy muy contento de que algunos de vosotros hayáis podido conectaros y ver este gran acontecimiento en marcha. Y sin más dilación, deciros que vamos a intentar estar atentos de no ir a paso corriendo, a paso de loco, y hacer que el evento sea más llevadero para todos. Así que sin más dilación, chicos, acabo de conectar mi cámara ahora por último momento. Aquí ha sido Josep Muñoz 89, Josep Muñoz en la vida real. Esto ha sido Project Sandbox LiveCAST del Summer Game Fest, y nos vemos en el próximo vídeo.